Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to class 2 of building your brand. So, if you were with us yesterday, the previous class, we learned logo building. The different variations of a logo. We considered some types of logos, and an assignment was given a list of logos. I told you guys to try to tell me what type of logo the list I provided, what type of logo they represented. Before we begin today's class, let's just go over that. Let me put this in full screen. By the way, this slide is completely designed on Canva. It looks professional, doesn't it? So this is what you'll be able to do as well. Now, the first logo is Facebook, and that is a watermark. I keep saying watermark, a lettermark logo. Why? Because from our list of logos that we considered, we said a lettermark logo consists of letters, usually brand initials. And if we see the examples, HP, HBO, and IBM, these are initials that represent the name of the brand. And Facebook is a lettermark logo because the F here is an initial that represents the name of Facebook. The next logo is Instagram, and it is a pictorial logo. Why? From a definition of pictorial logo, we said those kinds of logos are usually icon based, no text. And it's also similar to an abstract logo. In the assignments most of you submitted, some of you mentioned Instagram as an abstract logo. And yes, it actually looks like an abstract logo, but it is a pictorial logo. From our definition of pictorial logo and abstract logo, or from our comparison, a pictorial logo in a way relates to the name of the brand. There is a relationship. Unlike an abstract logo, you actually have to think deeper before you know what this logo is talking about. Now, if you look at the Instagram logo, it looks like something, right? It looks like a camera. And from what we understand Instagram to be, it's a picture sharing app. So that logo is fitting for it. Then our Uber logo is a wordmark logo. WordPress. Wordmark logo because the name of the brand is the logo itself. Don't mind the black background. Our Instagram logo is an abstract logo because this doesn't actually tell us exactly what Snapchat is. We just know this logo stands for or represents Snapchat, but we don't know why or how it relates to it. So we can call that an abstract logo. Our Adobe logo is a combination logo because it has both text and the name as the logo. And our BMW, most of you said this is a letter mark. I'm sure because of the abbreviation, this BMW, I know it's the name of the car, I don't know what it stands for. But if you look at it closely, this is actually an emblem logo because I would say to differentiate between an emblem and a letter mark, emblem logos are more complicated. They're not logos you can easily remember. If I'm to tell you to draw the logo for Starbucks now, or the logos we considered yesterday, Harley Davidson, or even this BMW, just look at it at a glance and draw it again. I'm sure you guys will find it difficult. But Facebook logo, on the other hand, or other lettermark logos that we discussed, you can easily redraw them. So that's, to me, is how I would differentiate between an emblem and a lettermark. Our Microsoft logo is a combination logo, and our Pringles, we did not consider this yesterday. I asked you guys to do some research and see if you can get what type Pringles is. And yes, most of you got it. This is a mascot. So to know a mascot logo, they are normally represented by an illustration of something, of a character. It could be a person, an animal, or a thing. I don't know if most of you know the logo of KFC. It is a picture of Colonel Sanders in a red background and something like that. So that is an illustration of the man himself. That kind of logo is what we call the mascot. Okay, now moving on to today's class, we will be discussing the elements of design, and we will get to design our logos. Elements of designs are the materials from which all designs are built. And under elements of designs, we have the color, line, base, and typography. We have other elements as well, but I am choosing to list just these four. We have shape, we have form, we have tone and value. But those ones are not really necessary. You can research them and find out what they stand for on your own. So for the first one, the color. The color of something is the appearance that it has as a result of the way in which it reflects light. So when light shines on a surface, what color reflected? That is the color of that object. Okay, so these colors represent something, right? They stand for something. And when we look at colors like red, most times it stands for courage, love, favor. Or maybe in some other context other than design, we can say red symbolizes danger and anger. Blue stands for serenity and stability. And yellow stands for happiness and hope. Green, when we think of green, we think of peace, we think of nature, think of tranquility, growth. Purple is a color that symbolizes royalty, luxury, and power. Brown, warmth, security, earthiness. Gray, neutrality and balance. Orange, optimism and positivity. On our next elements of design, we have line. And what are lines? Lines can be vertical, horizontal, diagonal, or curved. They can be any width or texture and can be continuous, implied, or broken. Lines are the very basic elements of design. I think in a subject, probably Introtech, we were taught that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. We have different types of lines. We have horizontal lines, we have dotted, we have dashed, and you can see the examples down there. We have curved lines, we have spiral lines, and when we bring lines together or we draw them in a certain shape, it turns into something beautiful, like the illustrations we have here. Now, this is a curved line, two curved lines coming together to form a heart. These are spiral lines, straight lines, different types of lines that come together to form this flower. And this is a spiral line. So we can actually fine tune lines to come up with designs. Our next on the list is space. And what is space? Space is the area that surrounds a shape. If you look at a design, the negative space is the area that is not occupied by any element. So we see this illustration, we see this picture. You can see the first picture, how the texts are very close to the borders. And this kind of picture is not very attractive. In fact, if you see this in a design, you will not go for it. So you think, "Ah, what is this person designing?" But in the next picture, you see how everything is centered. There's a space up here, there's a space down, there are spaces at the sides. So when you design your graphics, applying space and applying other elements of design, you are making your design beautiful. When you apply all these elements of design, your design will come out beautiful and nice. Typography is the next. And we can define this as the act of arranging letters and text in a way that makes the copy legible, clear, and visually appealing. We have different types of typography or fonts. We have the serif, and you can see the example. Serif fonts have lines where they end. You see that W, it has like a little slanted line on top. So fonts like this are called serif. The next type of font is sans serif, and this means without line. So you see the example. These fonts are straight. They don't have any pointed ends. Scripts have this fanciful look, this design, and they are mostly found in maybe wedding invitations. We have the monospace. Monospace are fonts that are of the same height all through, regardless of whether it is a capital or a small letter. They are all the same height. And the display are this kind of heavy, thick fonts with some designs attached to it. These fonts also have their applications. Depending on what you're designing, there is a particular type of font you can use. So assuming you're designing a logo, you don't want to go with fonts like this display. You don't even want to use monospace and you don't even want to use script. But if you're designing something like a wedding invitation, you can use script. And if you're designing maybe a children's novel or storybook, you can go with display. So depending on what you're designing, use some particular type of font. We will now be going into creating our logos. So go to this website, logo.com. We are going to implement all what we've learned today in creating our logo. Logo.com. This is a website where you can create your logo free of charge without any cost. There are some other websites like this, but those ones, after you have designed your logo, they would require you to buy it, pay a little token before you are able to download it. But this website allows you to create your logo from scratch, download it in any format you want, even help you remove the background. Alright, let's design a logo. First of all, you have to have a business name. Now let's say I have a business name and my business name is Oma Jewelries. I'm going to spell jewelries with a G. Okay, click on make logo. It might prompt you to create an account or you can just proceed. Okay, your slogan is your tagline. For me, my brand name is Anticipate Designs and my tag name is Giving Identity because that's what I do. I help businesses station themselves in the market, give them a name. So in a sense, I am giving them an identity. Let's assume this logo, Oma Jewelries, has a tagline called "Be Beautiful." Type that and press continue. So, what kind of brand are you operating? What is your industry? Is it a restaurant, a furniture shop, a coffee shop? Ours is a jewelry store, so I'm going to type jewelry and see if it comes out. Okay, we have jewelry store. Then I'm going to select a color. Okay, this is what we considered colors and their meaning. We see the red color has, let me see if I can zoom in a bit. The red color symbolizes energy, passion, and love. Orange symbolizes fun, vibrant, youthful, and so on and so forth. Now, another thing is, this is something I forgot to consider when we were discussing colors. If you are choosing a color, make sure the color you're choosing has a link with your brand. Since our logo is a jewelry logo or it's a business that is into jewelries, let's try to come up with colors that fit jewelry. So what kind of colors would we associate with a jewelry brand? Jewelry sometimes comes in silver, in gold. So we want to choose a color that is closely associated with our brand. So let's choose this grayscale. I'm going to click on this and click continue. At this point, I'm going to zoom out. Now, the font. What type of font do you want to pick? If you are designing a logo, always make sure that you do not choose one, this type of font, handwritten, or in what we consider, you can call this script. Most people like to differentiate them, but I would say this is script and this is also script. So you don't want to pick this for fonts, for logos. You don't want to pick this for your logo, and you definitely don't want to pick this for your logo. The fonts you choose for your logo have to be simple and precise. So I would start with this. I would also select this, and maybe this, right? And I click continue. Alright, do you want your logo with icons or without icons? If you want it with icons, you click this. If you don't, you click this. I'm going to click without icon. Alright, it is creating our logo for us. Here we see the brand name. we see the slogan, we see that the icon option is off because we selected off. This keywords is where you want to be creative. You want to type in things like jewelry, chain, gold, something that is related to a jewelry store. So I'm going to click on keywords and I'm going to type in jewelry. So with this, we are telling click enter and press enter. Type another keyword. Let's say watch, enter, then chain. Okay, my internet is a bit slow. So here you want to be very creative. You want to select things that would relate well with your brand. It will normally give you some suggestions. It will give you some nice suggestions. Other time it will not. Like this bangle is a nice suggestion. So I can let me delete chain. Click on bangle instead. Now when you've selected your keywords, it will then generate a couple of logos for you based on these keywords that you've selected. You can only select 3 keywords, so make it very, very creative. Okay, all right. So you can see it has created a list of logos for you. Just scroll down, keep scrolling until you see something nice that you want. This makes sense. This is okay, but let's see if we have other nice stuff. This is okay. And take note, even if you select a particular design, you can still do some finishing. So if you don't like this color, if you don't like this shape, you can delete it. When you click customize, you can delete the shape, delete and change the color to something you want. And you can also change the font. Or I think you can change the logo as well. This is also nice. Okay, to save time, let me just click on the first one that I chose, customize, and it will open the logo for you. Okay, okay. So over here, you can see options. This is where you can adjust the logo. The business name is white. So when you click on this box, it will show you a list of colors to choose from, and that will change the name to the color you select. So I'm going to click on it and let's pick a gray. Let's pick a dark gray. Okay. Then I am going to change the background to white. Okay. So let's say I want to change the slogan to another color. I can do that here. And if I want to change the icon to another color, I can also do that here. I'm okay with the design like this, but I want to change the font. So I'm going to click on this, the font of this tagline, and I click on it. Okay, when you click on it, this will change, bringing out the options for you to edit what you've clicked on. I want to change the font to something else. Make sure this is selected, all fonts, and then scroll down to any nice font that you like. I want to go with this, something light. Let's go with this. That changes. So when you click on what you want to change, this sidebar will also change according to what you selected. And here you can make changes to that particular element. So if you want to change the color, the font, the weight, if you want it thinner than this, or you want it thicker, you want it italic, You want to change the font, you can do that here. Then when you scroll down, it is already giving you a list of mockups, how your logo will appear on different surfaces. You can see how beautiful the logo is here. Now, if you are fine with this, click on next. Okay. If you still want to change the logo, probably you don't like this logo anymore and you want to change to something else, you have a list of options here. This is the current logo. If you want to select something like this, just click on it and it changes. But I'll still stick with that. Okay. When you click on get more icons will be loaded and you can pick a certain icon that you think would match that whatever you're doing. So when you're done with the design, when you're okay with it, when it looks beautiful to you, you click on next and your logo is ready. You can see how beautiful it looks. It will also generate it on different backgrounds for you or asking to connect. So it will generate a list of backgrounds for you. You can see how your logo appears on this surface. If you're okay with how it looks, come up here and click get your logo. I think at one point you'll be asked to create an account. I already have an account here. That is why I'm automatically signed in. So when you are asked that, you just go ahead to create your account. All right. So it takes you to this page. This is the final page, and you can download your logos here. When you scroll down, you see this place that says logo files, brand details, and so on. You want to click on your logo files. It will take you to the logos that you've created. Okay, now here you can click on logo files again. Alright, this is the page. This is the page where you can download your logo. You can download it as a zip file. You can download it as a PNG. When you click on this, it will download your logo as a zip file. And down here, you have your logo. You also have it in black. Here you see how it will appear on a black background. This is a PNG format. You can download this without any background. If you want to place it on a surface and you don't want the white background to intrude, you can download the PNG version. Don't forget these are low resolution. So if you want to download the high resolution, you just have to scroll down till you see high resolution. They're just the same logos, but these ones are more clearer. The low resolution images are images you want to use on your website because they're not very high and they will load faster on your website. When we get to the point of discussing websites, you understand better. So under your high resolution images, you can download your image here. So I want to download this. I'm going to click download. Unlike other platforms, I will ask you to pay. This one doesn't ask you all of that. As you can see, I'm downloading it. This platform also offers you an opportunity to create business cards, letterheads, social media posts. But all of that, you don't have to do it because you can do that and more on Canva. So when you've created your logo here, and you now want to go into designing a business card, a letterhead, a flyer, an invoice, just go to Canva and start doing all of that. In our next lecture, I think we will be starting with introduction to Canva, where we will discuss the interface, the tools, and what exactly Canva can do. This is where we'll be ending today's lecture. If I go to my downloads, I will see the logo downloaded. Okay, it's downloaded. Let's try and open it. The recorded version of this class will also be available on YouTube. So you can see our logo. See how beautiful it is. Whatever brand you are designing, if it's you're into shoemaking or you're into fashion, just type in your business name. If you have a tagline, no problem, you can put it there. What you want to be creative is those keywords. Just put in something that is connected to your brand, to your industry rather, and it will bring or create a very nice logo for you.